Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our meeting. I apologize for being a little late, but we had a number of issues to resolve. I call us back into open session, and Jennifer, please take the roll. Here. 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 Here.
Here. Here.
We'll move to the Pledge of Allegiance. Trustee Agbalog, would you lead us in the pledge?
Salute and pledge. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The board did meet in closed session, but there are no actions to report out of closed session today. We'll move on to agenda item 5, public comments. At this time, the public may address the Board of Trustees on any matter within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board that is not on the agenda. The public may address the Board of Trustees on each of the agenda items as those items are considered. Each speaker will be allowed 5 minutes per topic. 20 minutes shall be the maximum time allotment for public speakers on any one subject, regardless of the number of speakers at any one board meeting. At the discretion of the majority of the board, these times may be extended. Each person who addresses the board must first be recognized by the presiding officer. Comments must be addressed to the board as a whole and not to individual members or district employees. The board and staff are not obligated to comment on or respond to or address comments by the public. The opening of this meeting, names and agenda items were taken for public comment. Are there any additional members of the public who wish to make public comments? Please state your name and the item you wish to address. At this time, I have no list of anyone wishing to address the board. Is there anyone who wishes to address the board? Seeing none, we will move on to item number 6, public hearing. This is a public hearing for addendum 5 to the certified environmental impact report for the Kern Community College District Resources Facilities Master Plan and Modification Project related to Porterville College. At this time, I will open the public hearing at whatever time we're at, 1:07. And are there any comments, public comments on this item? Seeing none, I will close this public hearing. Okay. Try another one on that. 7A. Approval of the emeritus recommendation and presentation of the award of Porterville College emeritus recipients. Chancellor Burke.
Thank you, Trustee Corkins. So the word emeritus has Latin roots, meaning to have earned merit and distinction through service. It is a title reserved for select employees, a mark of distinguished service on or after their retirement, and conferred exclusively by the Board of Trustees. Recognition of years of distinguished service and contributions to the Kern Community College District, Bakersfield College, Saracosa Community College, and Porterville College. Board of Trustees bestows title of emeritus on a group of outstanding former faculty and administrators. To the employee we are recognizing today, dedication and body of work has provided enormous educational opportunities to our community students. For this, the district will be forever grateful. In observance of granting the title of emeritus, this individual will receive a specially designed medal. At this time, I'd like to share a few words about Mr. Bill Henry, former president of Porterville College. Served from KCCD's press release that was distributed following Bill's untimely passing, April of 2023. Bill served as president of Porterville College between 2017 and 2019. Cared deeply for students and colleagues, and made an impact on those who knew him. Story of Bill Henry is the story of two illustrious careers, one in law enforcement and the other in education, totaling 45 years of public service. It was in 1979 that Bill started working as a part-time criminal justice professor at Bakersfield College, while he continued working to be as a detective at the Bakersfield Police Department. He also served as evening supervisor at the Delano campus. Bill continued teaching part-time until his retirement from Bakersfield Police Department in 1998. And at that point, Bill took a full-time position at Porterville College. At Porterville College, Bill had the opportunity to witness an unprecedented period of growth. The city of Porterville nearly doubled in size, and the campus added a new library and fitness center, remodeled math and science building, and planned the development of the new health careers building, which was part of our Measure J local bond. Bill always appreciated the small town feel of Porterville and considered the 60-acre Porterville College campus his home. Bill was committed to whatever his mission was and was always working toward completing whatever the most important task was. Bill leaves behind an unprecedented legacy as a steadfast public servant in two careers, education and law enforcement. He was a legend in the Kern Community College District and at the Bakersfield Police Department. He is dearly missed by our community and myself. He was a great leader for KCCD and for Porterville College. Now, the president of the board will present to the family Bill's wife, Kalani, Bill's daughter and son-in-law, Janae and Josh Whitaker, medal signifying that the Board of Trustees of the Kern Community College District has recognized Mr. Bill Henry, title President Emeritus.
Thank you, Chancellor, and for all of us that knew Bill. It's a great void that we've lost him. So thank you to the family for coming today. Let's move to item 7B, approval of consent items, business services other than construction. Agenda items 9A through 9F, business services constructions, agenda items 11A through 11XX, educational services, agenda items 13A through 13D, and human resources, agenda items 15A through 15B. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Numerous seconds. Any discussion on this item? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item C, approval of the minutes of January 23rd, 2024 annual board retreat. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I have a
Second.
motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Item D, corresponds to the board, trustees and communications, Chancellor Burke.
There has been no correspondence or communications to the board this month.
Excellent. Thank you. Item 8, business services approval other than construction. 8A, authorization of the chief financial officer to enter into an agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of California Renewable Energy Laboratory and Sin Watts, Inc. to develop specific action plans to facilitate the research and development of voltaic and electric vehicle technology for educational and training purposes. The term is from the date of execution through December 31, 2024. The cost of the district is not to exceed $200,000 to be paid from RP 040 California Renewable Energy Laboratory Program Fund. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion
Again.
and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item B is adoption of the non-resident tuition fee for 24-25. The proposed non-resident tuition fee of $329 per semester unit for a 30-unit semester term academic year is based on the district average cost, option 1 fee per unit. The proposed rate results in a $13, 3.8% decrease from the current rate of $342 per unit and will be deposited into GU 001 unrestricted funds. The fee will be per unit up to and including 15 units and will be effective beginning the summer session of 2024. Is there a motion? The motion, is there a second? Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, item 9 was business consent items, so we will move to item 10. Business services approval, construction items. 10A, authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into a work authorization between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College and AP Architect. Excuse me. 8 what? I missed one? Could be. Let's go back there. 8C, I did. Let's go back to 8C, authorization of the chief financial officer to enter into an agreement between Kern Community College District and Go Educate Inc. to develop a career exploration hub for any adult education student in the region. Term is through July 1, 2023 through June 30, 2024. The cost to the district is $120,000 to be paid from RP 634 Restricted Program Fund. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Jennifer. Getting me back on track. We're back on item 10A. And I'll just restate it quickly. Authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into a work authorization between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College and AP Architects for the Delano Center Monument Sign, Sidewalk, and Landscape Project. The term is per the master agreement. The cost of the district is not to exceed $371,000 to be paid from MJ 100 local capital outlay funds. Is there a motion?
So moved.
A motion. Second.
Second.
Thank you. Yes, go ahead, trustee Carter.
Since we're just for architectural.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, trustees, trustee Carter. The overall budget that we have identified for that work is a little over $1.3 million. And it includes running curb, gutter, and sidewalk all the way north to Cecil Avenue from the campus, as well as expanding the street and then putting a monument sign on the corner as well. So it's a rather large project.
Is the architectural in the 1.3 million? Or
Yes,
that's
it
in
is.
addition?
Yes, it is.
Is that okay? Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
With that, that was the question. We have a motion, a second. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Move to item 10B. Authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into a construction agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Porterville College and MAC General Engineering for the Porterville College Avenue Road Realignment Project. The term is from February 9, 2024 through August 16, 2024. Cost of the district is not to exceed $3,845,493.14 to be paid from MJ 100 Local Capital Outlay Fund. Is there a motion? I have a
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item C. Approval to declare the Bakersfield College listed items as surplus property. These items are no longer required for school purposes and are surplus property per Education Code 81450. Excuse me, the district will dispose of said property through public auction, private sale, or donation per Education Code 81452. The items are valued at $1,375. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item D is authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into a construction agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College and James E. Thompson, Inc., DBA JTS Construction for the Bakersfield College Agricultural Accessory Building Greenhouse Project. Term is from February 8, 2024 through November 30, 2024. The cost of the district is not to exceed $2,252,500 to be paid from MJ 100 Local Capital Outlay Fund. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Very good. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Being passed, we will move to item E. Authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into a construction agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College and James E. Thompson, Inc., DBA JTS Construction for the Bakersfield College Agricultural Accessory Building Shade House Project. The term is from February 8, 2024 through November 30, 2024. Cost of the district is not to exceed $312,500 to be paid from MJ 100 Local Capital Outlay Fund. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion, is there a second? And I have a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, we will move to item 10F. Authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into a construction agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College and James E. Thompson, Inc., DBA JTS Construction for the Bakersfield Agricultural Accessory Building Doors, Frames, and Hardware Project. The term is from February 8, 2024 through November 30, 2024. The cost of the district is not to exceed $65,000 to be paid from MJ 100 Local Capital Outlay Fund. Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll move to item G. Authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into a construction agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College and San Joaquin Fence for the Bakersfield College Agricultural Building Decorative and Chain Link Fencing Project. The term is from February 8, 2024 through February 28, 2026. The cost of the district is not to exceed $236,900 to be paid from MJ 100 Local Capital Outlay Fund. Is there a motion?
Second.
The motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll move to item H, authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into a work authorization between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Portable College and Van Air Construction Management, Inc. for the Portable College Avenue Realignment Project. The term is per the master agreement. Cost of the district is not to exceed $250,000 to be paid from MJ 100 Local Capital Outlay Fund. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. All in favor, any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll move to item I. Adoption of a resolution to authorize a chancellor to approve an addendum to the Kern Community College District Certified Environmental Impact Report for the District Resource and Facilities Master Plan Modification Project released from Portable College. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. This requires a roll call vote. Jennifer?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Item J, authorization for the chief financial officer to execute a work authorization between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College and 19-6 SIX Architects for the Bakersfield College Combined Gymnasium and Fieldhouse Pool Building Phase 2 Design Only Project. The term is per the master agreement. The cost of the district is not to exceed $1,670,500 to be paid from MJ 100 Local Capital Outlay Fund. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion on the item? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We will move to item 10K. Authorization for the chief financial officer to execute 43 master agreements for design and construction related to service between the Kern Community College District and the attached list of firms. The term is from February 8, 2024 to February 7, 2029. The cost to the district will vary from project to project and is limited by provisions contained in the master agreement. Costs for each project are subject to a separate work authorization for approval. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
The motion is second. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 11 was consent. We will move to item 12, educational services approval. 12A, approval of the attached curriculum reports of courses, programs, certificates, and new community service education course offerings as part of the district's curriculum for Bakersfield College, Saracosa Community College, and Porterville College. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 12B, approval of out-of-state travel for Bakersfield College advanced student jazz combo to attend and perform at the Collegiate Jazz Festival at the University of Nevada, Reno, currently scheduled for April 25th, 2024 through April 28th, 2024. The cost to the district is not to exceed $7,042.51 to be paid from GU 001 unrestricted funds. Is there a motion?
Second.
The motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item C, authorization for the chief financial officer to accept a vehicle donation to the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College of a 2023 Lincoln Aviator from Jim Burkford for the use in the automotive training program. The estimated value is $78,575. Is there a motion? A motion and a second. Any discussion? Darn nice of Jim Burkford. So way to go. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Item D, approval of grant agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Bakersfield College and the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, CDCR, for the project entitled Rehabilitative in-Prison Programming. Term is from July 1, 2022 through June 30, 2025. The amount payable to the district is $295,544 to be deposited into RP 119 restricted funds. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We will move to item E. Authorization for the chief financial officer to renew a grant agreement between the Kern Community College District on behalf of Saracosa Community College and the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, CDCR, for the rehabilitative investment grants for healing and transformation. Right grant. The term is from July 1, 2022 through December 31, 2025. The amount payable to the district is $216,667 to be deposited into RP 030 restricted program funds. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? My only question, Chancellor, was July 1, 2022 to 2025. Is this a continuation of an existing agreement?
This is the original agreement, included both Saracosa and Porterville colleges together, and now they decided to separate it.
Okay,
So the board is actually already approved the original grant. Separate grant agreements with separate.
excellent. Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. We will move to item F. Authorization for the chief financial officer to enter into an agreement between Kern Community College District on behalf of Saracosa Community College and Kern Health Systems. Term of the agreement is November 17, 2023 through November 17, 2025. The amount payable to the district is $300,000 to be deposited into a new restricted program fund to be determined.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion? A second? All in favor of any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 13 was consent. Item 14, human resources approval. Item A, approval of the Kern Community College District academic faculty advancing to 10-year status for 24-25. Is there a motion? Any just a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 15 was human resources consent, so we will move to item 16. Facilities report links, which are in the packet. And are there any questions for the facilities personnel? Hearing none, we will go item B, faculty reports.
Good afternoon. I'm Rebecca Baird. I'm the Academic Senate President for Porterville College. I submitted my report to board docs, so you can read it there, but a few highlights from my report. Porterville College held its Spring Flex Day on January 12th, and Trustee Corkins was present to address the college. So thank you, Trustee Corkins, for being there. We had a student panel that day as well, and it was just a lovely morning and afternoon. We had our natural science division. Over winter break, they spent hours preparing a plot along the Tule River Parkway in Porterville. So this is an area in Porterville where people develop and adopt these areas where they can plant native plants, and then the community can go and walk around there. Our PC Art Gallery opened a new exhibit on February 7th, which is the art of Adam Longotti, which includes artwork and landscapes of the Central Valley. So if you're up in our area, please feel free to stop by. And then I wanted to say a few things about the issue with fraudulent enrollments that we've been dealing with. So first, on behalf of the PC faculty, I wanted to thank the fraud group and the district and our administration and staff for all of the hard work that they've currently been doing regarding the fraudulent enrollment. But the faculty were also very disappointed in the district's slow response to this problem, which has been ongoing for multiple semesters now. Faculty are on the front lines of this issue, and many of us were consistently checking our rosters, starting at registration, running through our winter breaks. Our career education division, for example, reported that they spent hours looking at class rosters for numerous weeks, flagging students and reporting them. Each professor in that division reported dropping an average of 100 to 135 students each. They had classes canceled. At PC, we had an adjunct who was in fear of becoming unhoused as a result of likely losing a class due to fraudulent enrollments. And just the amount of chaos and anxiety and extra work has been tremendous. And for our adjuncts, that strain has been even harder. And our faculty do this because they care about our classes and our students, but that burden of time and energy and anxiety should not be on faculty shoulders, especially not our adjunct faculty. And of course, our students are impacted by all this as well. When we have a class full of fraudulent students, our real students cannot enroll, and then they're forced to seek classes elsewhere at a detriment to our district. It seems that KCCD continues to get hit harder than other districts because we have yet to adequately address the problem. So again, I don't want to diminish the work that the fraud group has been doing, nor our staff or administration at PC. We applaud those efforts and the time that they have taken and devoted to fix this, but it also seems like this could have been dealt with a lot sooner as well. I think
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Erica Menchaca, Academic Senate President at Bakersfield College. Some events to highlight, I didn't submit the written report on time. Some events to highlight our spring opening day. Thank you, Chancellor Burke, for attending. And then we also had BC's first Emoja Black History Month conference last week. So that was an exciting event. And then this evening or this afternoon, we have the Panorama Invitational. So students from across the district and high schools will be sharing their art. And then Saturday, there's a free event celebrating Sicilian culture and music. Lastly, I just look forward to collegial consultation, especially as we look at decision-making processes, district structures, and the way the district office should support the work of the individual colleges. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other faculty reports? Classified reports.
Hello, my name is Ian Mason. I'm the chapter 336 president for Bakersfield College in the district office for CSEA. Our new year's off to a great start. It's crazy. It's already February. Feels like January went by super quick. We have new seatings in our board with newly elected classified board members. Very excited to start sitting on committees and with training. We've already sat in many committees just through January, and I know that there are vacancies that we are looking to fill, and we have members that are ready to stand up to take those. As well, negotiations are right around the corner. And so we have Bargaining Academy coming up for ourselves internally, and we've also been invited by HR to join for the interest-based bargaining training, since there's an interest in moving to that with a third party for interest-based bargaining. So we're excited to do that as well. And we're just excited for the year and working together to better our students' experiences. Thank you.
Thank you. Management Association report.
Good afternoon, trustees, chancellor. My name is Bonita Steele. I am the president of the Kern Community College District Management Association, and I'll be giving our report today. A little bit of an update regarding the management symposium. The date is May 30th at the Bakersfield College Campus Renegade event, and we are looking forward to hosting and featuring the new chancellor, Bloomberg, and the incoming Bakersfield College president, and looking forward to having panel discussions and presentations regarding student support services and student success strategies. So looking forward to that. The manager's toolkit is coming along and looks like it will be available by the end of spring, late spring semester. The lunch and learn session is scheduled for February 14th next week on mindful collaboration presented by David Reese. Looking forward to that. If you have a chance to check that out, please do. And today for our January recognition of Manager of the Month, we have someone to recognize that is actually off campus on assignment elsewhere. Today, we're going to recognize Tony Cordova, currently serving with the Chancellor's Office as the Vice Chancellor of Workforce and Economic Development Division. He has just done some amazing things at Bakersfield College, and we want to recognize in his previous roles as Dean of Instruction for Industrial Technology and Transportation. Spent about 4 years in that role, and previously about 6 years as Director of CTE. You may not know that he also had several volunteer roles, including as president-elect of CCC AOE, the Occupational Educators Association, and also serves as vice president of the Valley Achievement Center's Board of Directors. Now, Tony did some amazing things in his roles at BC. He added about 19 apprenticeship and pre-apprenticeship programs. He supported a greater focus on adult education, both at the main campus and at all of the rural initiative centers. He also supported the implementation of the Industrial Automation Baccalaureate degree, and he has managed 38 regional and 52 local strong workforce programs, having a combined budget of $24.25 million. Really amazing work. So in recognition of his extensive contributions and leadership in the development of Bakersfield College CTE programs, his community volunteer leadership, as well as his current contributions at the Chancellor's Office, the Kern Community College District Management Association wishes to recognize Tony Cordova as its January 2024 Manager of the Month. Would you all please join me in giving him a round of applause? Thank you so much. That concludes my report.
Thank you. College reports. Who's first?
I'll go ahead and go first. President Corkins, trustees, Chancellor Burke. You have my report uploaded in board docs. I did want to highlight a couple of things that weren't included in that report. One of them being that it was a pleasure to host our second annual employee convening last Friday. Had approximately 150 employees join me for a state of the college, and they got updates from business division, from instruction, and from student services. And we took a big 50th aerial photo for celebrating our 50th anniversary. So great time to bring everyone together. You know how spread out we are. So to bring everyone from every location into one place was amazing. And everyone seemed to have a really good time. Built a lot of that collegial consultation you hear about and just camaraderie and goodwill towards each other. So, and then lastly, I wanted to bring up that we were invited, Syracuse Community College was invited by Chancellor Christian, State Chancellor Christian, to be part of the Rising Scholars Network demonstration project. We are one of potentially 6 colleges in the state to be invited. There were 3 at the time, there may be 4 coming up here soon. And that is to advance the attainment of degrees and baccalaureate degree pathways in our prisons. And I actually was invited to go and speak to the Board of Governors in Sacramento on that and the great work that KCCD and Saracoso is doing in that regard. So that was very successful and got a lot of positive feedback from Dr. Christian regarding the Board of Governors comments. And so I just wanted to share that as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Chancellor Burke, President Corkins, trustees. On behalf of President Walken, it is my privilege to share with you that Bakersfield College is strong and our students are thriving. Within the report contained for you today, our Office of Student Life hosted a series of welcome events during the first week to promote student engagement and further cultivate our culture of learning. Our students were on campus engaging in sports and in video games and playing trivia and really connecting with different individuals who provide services at our campus through our booths. I think for those of us who've weathered the pandemic at Bakersfield, it felt like pre-pandemic times again. To see students interacting like that, it was very powerful. And the events didn't stop after Welcome Week. And so I wanted to note a few others, including the Spring Faculty Showcase on January 26th, the Umoja Black History Month Conference mentioned by our Academic Senate President, also the Math Matters and other STEM learning events that are occurring regularly within our STEM Common Hours. And tonight, if you are available, please join us at the Jones Art Gallery for the invitational opening. For nearly 20 years, Bakersfield College has been partnering with local high schools to promote and showcase student art, and this year's exhibit is really something. Our students are also thriving outside of the main campus, and I wanted to highlight two examples. The first at Bakersfield College Southwest. When we compare spring 23 to spring 24, our unique student headcount has increased by 27%. We are serving almost a third more students at Southwest. At Delano Center, the number of students we educate over that same time period has increased by over 51%. And so I want to recognize Director Rodriguez, the Rural Initiatives team, and all the work that they're doing with our faculty to enable more students to take more classes in that incredibly beautiful building and make progress toward their educational goals. And I'll close with noting our ongoing effort to prepare for the Fall 24 Arvin Educational Center. Just this week, I sat down with our agriculture faculty chair and the Arvin High School leadership and our rural initiatives team's leadership to talk about how we can ensure that we are building pathways that fit the career pathways being offered at the high school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, President Corkins, trustees, Chancellor Burke. I'm happy to report that the start of the spring semester at PC is really great. The campus really looks vibrant, full of students despite the bad weather and the heavy rain. Parking lots are full. Students are really engaged in club rush and a lot of activities. The art show last night had over 100 participants and attendees, and it was raining really hard. And I mention all these because despite the challenges that we're having with fraudulent enrollments, the fact is that the classrooms are full. So I know that there's been a lot of work by multiple people. We'll continue to work on this challenge until we have all of our late start classes, but I'm feeling pretty good about our numbers. So it may not be exactly what it's shown right now, but I think we are really in an upper trend as far as enrollments. I also like to highlight that the campus, the faculty, all constituencies are working really hard on the accreditation report, as you all know, and also on the facilities master plan that we plan to bring to you in April. We recently had a listening session with members of the community inside the college and outside, and it was really a good session. And as I highlight facilities, I'd like to take a moment to express my appreciation for the district team, the facilities team, in particular Randy Rolls, for his work on the housing project for PC. I know we have talked about it before and how our project ranked #1. And I really believe that Randy and his team were so supportive and on point in the design and the management of this first phase, that is why we have a successful project. And all the projects that we have been working on and we're about to complete that were in the facilities master plan of 2018, that completion of those projects is because of the great synergy between the district and the campus teams. So thank you, Randy, for all that support. Last, I also like to express my appreciation to Chancellor Burke, to the trustees for the Leadership Academy. I know it's a tradition to have the Leadership Academy, and I cannot stress how beneficial it is. I went along with my colleagues and others to the Sacramento trip, the legislative conference, and in talking to the participants of the Leadership Academy, they were all excited. They find a lot of value. So I hope that we can continue supporting the Leadership Academy. It's great to grow our own leadership. And so I want to thank you for that opportunity and the opportunity to participate in a small way in there. So thank you.
Thank you. Chancellor's report.
Thank you. Trustee Corkins. Yeah, you have the monthly news report for 2 months, December and January. The news coverage that we received during that period. I also put in my chancellor update discussing the various activities during June. I also want to unveil or post it on the website, but we've had 3 additions to the district's website, that I want to share with you. One more thing. The first one, when I first came back in May, and this was actually a project that I thought about during my tenure during Chancellor 1.0. That is to kind of start building up a little bit of our history on our website. So the first webpage can be shared with you. The board of Trustees history. So what we have done is we've put up that's the Chancellor history. We could do that one. So on our website now, you can go and access terms of all of the district's chancellors since inception of. And we've also now added the Board of Trustees. That one up. I think it's under Board of Trustees. But this is the history of the Board of Trustees going all the way back to inception of the district. Why don't you pull down one of the bars? So you can see here's the 2024 trustee. Current co-op went back per year basis. So let's go way back to the first inning, far down below. We're missing a few photos, so we're kind of hoping that people will come across this, apply us with the photos that we're missing. We have quite a few of them. That goes all the way back to the beginning. Then finally, we have a new webpage, of Freedom of Expression webpage. It was a project assignment I received when I first back board. And what it is, it essentially gives the district's position on freedom of expression, academic freedom, pulls from board policies, procedures. Hopefully that. Frequently asked questions. Going up to it. So this is 95% complete. They're currently working on Norma Reyes shop is working on a social media component to be added to this. It's currently being vetted. Added to this and urge you in a minute. And also a couple other things. I'd like to congratulate Tony Cordova for being manager. This time, I'd also like to ask Mr. Todd Costin to give the board a brief update on financial aid, anti-financial aid fraud.
Thank you,
Got
Tom.
it solved. There's no fraud, right?
Yeah, I would love to say there's none, but we're still here. So just a couple of things that are still going. I just discussed this with all of you. It was just over 2 weeks ago. So just in that time, these are things that have happened. So first, we're still having weekly meetings of that fraud group. And we try to make those meetings so that at meetings, there are specific things that are being done before the next meeting so that we're definitely moving work. And those meetings don't even take into account the discussions that are being had by IT, by management, whatever, outside of those meetings. So there's a lot of people talking about fraud and there's a lot of ideas coming into this. Some of the things that are being worked on right now, what we were doing with the kind of the AI and filtering through our students to determine what were fraud and what weren't. It's a lot of manual processes right now. And so the IT team has been directed to automate as much as possible those processes. And so they are very actively working on that. We are down the path. It's not complete yet. It's only been 2 weeks and there's a lot of things to kind of figure out to make that work. Additionally, probably the one piece that we've had the most success with is really with the AI. And I brought that up before, the artificial intelligence piece. And so one of the things we've really been working on in that group is lowering that threshold and getting more and more aggressive, catching more and more fraudulent students. Now, with that comes a risk of catching false positives, and we don't want to create more hurdles for our students. So it's this balancing act of finding, where we can put that threshold. Just since our last meeting, we've added another 600 students that we put financial aid holds and enrollment holds on, with very, very few false positives. So as we get more aggressive with that filter, we're scrunching it down and we're getting closer and closer to ruling more and more students out. I think I mentioned this before, Bank Mobile, who is the company that we use to disperse our financial aid, they said they had a solution that could help us with some of this. And so since our last time I briefed you, we've met with their team and talked through what does that solution look like. And it's similar to what we're doing, but they're pulling from a much larger database of information to determine whether students are fraudulent. Now, what we're doing right now is it's a lot of after the fact stuff. We're watching enrollment patterns, and that's what our AI is looking at determining fraud. With the Big Mobile solution, as soon as they came in from CC Apply, they have ways of telling if it's fraudulent, and they have all kinds of different matrix and things that they're using as this social security number. Because like a fraudulent person is doing something fraudulent, a lot of times it's not just with financial aid, right? So they might be trying to get credit cards, they might be trying to do other things. And so they're cross-referencing a whole bunch of other information. If we can get that, if that solution ends up being something that's viable, what that would buy us is that we're hopefully catching the students before they ever enroll in the classes, which then goes back to the concern that you heard today by Professor Baird about the impact on faculty, and for us, the impact on our financial aid and our admissions and records and people. So if we can catch that, like as soon as they come in, if we can weed them out at that level before they even start enrolling in the classes. So we're very optimistic about that. To get that solution going, one of the things that they're offering up is we're working on a test set of 1,000 students that we're going to send to them, that we know for the most part which of those students are fraudulent, which ones aren't, and then we're putting in there kind of a group we're not sure about and letting them score it. We're not telling them which those are. We're letting them score it to see if their scoring comes back the same as ours or different, or how accurate that is. So we're putting that together, and at the same time, we're doing the pricing exercise with them, so that if it looks like something we're ready to go with, we can be bringing a contract back to this group for approval. And of course, all of these things are just to minimize the impact on, like you already heard, on our faculty, on our financial aid people, and on our admissions and records people. So that's where we're at right now. A lot of work going on though, and I can assure you it's a daily discussion about fraud as we're looking at this.
Any questions from the trustees?
You said there's an ID process that students can establish an ID in order to, I guess my question and curiosity is around the fact that if we have some students that are establishing themselves with this ID process and some are not, I think what you said to us before was that if they have the ID process, we know they are a legitimate student.
Correct.
So could there be an effort around assisting all students that have some sort of challenge being established with that ID process to get through that process, and having a mandatory ID verification before you register for a class? Because I think I hear you loud and clear, and I think all of us are committed to not making it more difficult for our legitimate students to get through this process. But I feel like if we had a concerted effort around getting them established with that ID system, and that's the pinch point. And if there's a hurdle, there's a phone number to call, and there's a live body on the other end. Let me help you with that. I have a few questions for you. I know smart brains are on this, but I just want to continue to think about how we can just make sure we're demonstrating that we are committed to every avenue, because I watched the news last night at 11 o'clock and, sweet dreams.
We made it on the news, yeah. And I didn't address that piece and I missed that. So the other thing that's happened since I talked to you before is the state has turned on ID.me. So just understand that's a state level thing that's happening. I think kind of what you were talking about is there is an option on that to opt out. It's something for all the community colleges in California. So we can't go to them and say, no, we don't want our students to have the opportunity to opt out. But what we are doing is we're taking what we get from that. So they're scoring those and saying, yes, this is a verified student and this is not a verified student. So the first thing we're doing is taking the verified ones and basically smoothing the road for them, meaning you will not be caught up in this process. If you get verified, we're excluding you, you go right through, we're seeing you as a real student, and you're not gonna have any more obstacles if you do the ID.me thing. With that, I know the colleges are also using social media and some other things to do some messaging to the students to say, hey, you'll speed things up if you just go through the ID.me process. I will tell you that the ones that are coming through on the other side is unverified. Those are then the ones that we're focusing on. Those are the ones we're then running through our filters. And, and we're still doing lots of exclusions. We're minimizing the false positives. We're taking out our athletes. We're taking out our under 24 because they would have to go through their parents' FAFSA and tax things. And that's a lot more hurdles that the fraudsters would have to go through. So it's unlikely that those would be fraudulent students. So we're doing as much as we can to protect those students that we don't want to create obstacles for, to just get them through the process and really try to deal on this pool that is either new students that we're not sure about or whatever. So I hear what you're saying, and we are messaging. Also, when the holds get put on them, they get, and I mentioned this before, they get email, which we know they don't all check email, but they do get an email with what you said. It says, you need to do something more with your account. Contact, here's the number for share code. So here's where you contact the portal, so on and so forth, so that they can reach out and we will immediately help them through whatever process to get them verified.
Any sense of where we are as far as, is it slowing down now that you're moving into the semester? Or,
So
and do we kind of know what percent of we are of enrollments? I'm Dr. Habib speaking to where she's at, but
yeah.
do we know how much of that enrollment is real or not real?
So it's still hard. I mean, we have some numbers and we're still kind of trying to quantify like what can we expect over the course of this. Now, keep in mind, we're in a different period than we were a couple of weeks ago because classes are going now. So the only thing we're really dealing with now is late start classes, like classes that are coming up, that are getting ready to start, enrollments that are coming in for those. And that's a much smaller little wave than what we see at the beginning of the semester when we have registrations. So, we're working with Mike, we're working at looking at the back end data and trying to quantify like, what is this, what's the best and worst case scenarios? And we're going to try to come up with some numbers for you on that. But right now it's kind of a weird exercise because we're past the initial rush of registration. So we're not going to have like a perfect fill until we go through our next registration, our main registration cycle, and we really get a clear picture. But kind of late start classes are good for us because it gives us an opportunity to test these thresholds, keep tweaking it, and then those percentages will scale. If we're filtering out and getting a large chunk of those, that should stay consistent when we have the larger onset of registrations going into the summer and fall.
So when do we finalize the numbers, Chancellor, at census, or when will we know exactly if Portable College is up 30% and Bakersfield's up 28%, or what? We wait for is that census time? Is that when?
Well, essentially, what we'll know for spring is filing for people.
That'll be April. Okay.
That's when we file the actuals. Okay. There are some adjustments that occur because some data. And then we do a final B20 report. That's really probably about 99% certainty. We'll have a good idea for the bulk of it by April, but and no.
And that's our payment.
It's but it's also our total numbers. We'll have the whole year. It does generate though what we get.
Correct. The presidents have a sense of where you're at. I mean, you threw out numbers, but You must know if your classrooms are full, legit, if students are in the classroom or not in the classroom. Go ahead,
For spring, we're up around 3-4%.
which sounds more reasonable to me than 30%.
And then in the fall was much higher, but we're still pulling out a little bit of fraud, but I think we're gonna higher for fall. And so I don't know where we're gonna land at the end of the year, but we're up.
Yeah, Dr. Habib.
And for PC, let's remember that we ended fall semester and we were up 15% on FTEs and 16 on headcount. And right now, the report this morning showed 15% on FTEs, 25% on headcount, and that's the number that I'm not trusting. But that's why I mentioned that I'm still optimistic. We don't have solid numbers, but I'm optimistic because the classrooms are full. We did cancel classes, but not an unusual number. We always have cancellations, but it was not extraordinary or out of line. And we have 46 sections that will start late. So that those sections are the ones that we're watching. So we won't have real numbers until the end of the semester. But like I said, campus is really vibrant. Students are participating. They feel like they belong. And we're doing a lot of campaigning to make sure that our persistence and retention really increases. So maybe it's paying off. Nevertheless, it's a challenge and it creates a lot of confusion. We're working on it.
So define for me what a late start section is. You gotta talk to a non-curriculum guy.
Right. So usually, we have 16-week sessions that start.
So these are like 8-week sections.
These are
12
typically 8, some are 12, some are 10. So we're building some flexibility, but the majority are 8 sessions. And it helps students who are registering late. So, or for some reason they have to drop a class and then pick up one a little later.
Christine, did you?
Yeah, just one more. Because we know this phenomenon is happening, have we automatically increased some sort of a buffer for how many students we allow to enroll in each class? And if not, can we consider that if we allow, a certain number to enroll in a class before it's full, and we know there's going to be fraudulent enrollments, can we automatically do that just to minimize that disruption for the students that are looking to make sure they have the classes that they need? Okay.
Get the microphone. People behind you can hear you.
So we made the decision a couple of years ago not to increase the caps on the classes, but to increase the caps on the wait lists.
Okay.
Right, that way, our standard wait list for most of our classes is 30, unless it's a lab. And we've even increased it even beyond that. And that way, as the fraudulent students are being removed, we could roll those legitimate students in naturally.
Any
Yeah,
other comments?
I just wanted to clarify. One of the reasons that we don't really know the RN number until July is because our summer intercession starts almost immediately after graduation. And some of the summer classes end in June, so those are counted in current year. So that's one of the reasons we don't get that final number.
And that's the payment we get in the following February.
So the July
On
report,
enforcement growth.
the July report is essentially the basis. You get one more bite of the apple in November if you. It becomes the basis for the final portion there. Used to be in February. They're now starting to release the R portion. Fall.
Okay. Thank you all. Thank you. Catherine? You have one?
Oh, I just wanted to take this moment. This is my last meeting as the interim chancellor. I want to take this moment to thank you trustees for your faith in me, bringing me back to
do this job. I said when I departed last time, I love this district. Love all the faculty, classified and administrators. I thank them for their support during this 10-month period. I've been here. I'd really like to thank district administrative team, chancellor's cabinet, which includes the college presidents and the vice presidents and associate chancellors, and really everybody, all the employees in this district, having faith in me and supporting me. I think we accomplished the goal. We kept district moving forward with the change in leadership that occurred last May. I have just, I think this district has truly emerged as a true leader for this, not only the state of California, this whole nation, and I don't see that stopping. And I thank everybody, and I wish you all the best of luck.
And let everyone know what your new role is.
Yeah. So
This is where we take it from quarterback and we make you a coach.
yeah. So February 29th is my last day as the interim chancellor, and then on March 1, I become a consultant to the chancellor, the CFO, the vice chancellor, HR, and sundry others. So you'll be seeing me around. I'll still be here.
We won't let you retire. Thank you, Tom. Let's go to trustee reports, starting on my right, trustee Aguilar.
Thank you, President Corkins. Just want to take a moment to just say thank you to all who are responsible on doing this wonderful recognition of the emeritus status to the late Bill Henry. It's nice to have his family here and to recognize him in such a way. I had the opportunity of serving on the board while Bill was the president of Porterville College, and he also served as a vice president there. Class act and a gentleman. And I think this is a very nice honor to bestow upon him and his family. Earlier on our agenda, we also granted tenure status. So I want to take a moment also to congratulate all the faculty of 3 colleges who earned tenure status. And also would like to say thank you to Tom for his service to this district. Tom started off at Bakersfield College, came to the district office, was the business officer here, then ultimately our chancellor, and came back at a time to help us in time of need with an interim time in the chancellor's position, and he's moved a lot of big agendas, and we're so thankful for all the work that he's given us throughout the years. So thank you, Tom. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, trustee Mead.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to thank you and all of your team for all the work you're doing on this project and the college and president. This is such a fast moving world anymore. It seems like that there's no avenue that the bad guys can't find a way to get in. And we have to just continue to stay on top the best we can, and a lot of this stuff is thrown at you. It's just out of the blue. And really want to commend all of you. The report on the news last night was not what it was okay. It was factual. The lady from financial aid did a really good job, and anyway, thank you for all that hard work. Tom, gosh darn it, I know you're not going away. That's part of the deal. Anyway, thank you for all the years of 1.0, 2.0. Someday you'll be able to get that worm in that creek.
Thank you, trustee.
Thank you to everyone for everything you do to keep this district moving forward. I want to highlight the report from Bakersfield College, which included an update on the urban campus curriculum. The urban community is really excited to see that happen. And if I remember correctly, it should happen late summer, early fall, right, Mike? So that's going to be a game changer for urban and the surrounding cities. Also, it's great to see that Porterville College Housing Project was ranked #1. That's a perfect example of what happens when the colleges work together with the district office. Things get done and they get done in a great way. I was able to meet with some of the members of the Kern Community College District Leadership Academy, and that's a fantastic academy. I just want to, it'll be a great idea for us to promote it more, because I have talked to different employees and have encouraged them to apply for the academy, and many of them, they didn't even knew about the academy, so maybe we can include it in the Bakersfield College newsletter or the district newsletter. That way everyone can know about it and can apply for it. And finally, thank you, Tom, for coming back and helping us to move in our agenda, which is not an easy one. We have many projects to move forward. You have to help us. And now you're coming back as consultant Tom Burke 2.5. Thank you.
Trustee Scrivner.
I just want to echo trustee Meek's comments that all of this work that IT and company is doing is you all were busy before, and this is just extra work. So I appreciate it, and I agree that we're navigating as best we can. And I appreciate you educating me on what we are doing and that we're staying ahead of it as we can. I want to congratulate Saracoso and the Kern Community College District team for their leadership in pursuing these baccalaureate programs, and I'm really excited to see where that goes. So I'm happy to see that. And I just want to say that I only got to work with Tom Burke in his 2.0 status, and so I'm glad that you came back. So I got an opportunity to see you in action and witness your leadership. We do have a lot to be proud of. I say we, and I'm a newcomer, but I appreciate that you stepped back in when you did, and you've done us all proud. And I look forward to continuing to work with you in your capacity moving forward.
Trustee Carter.
Very quickly, I want to thank Todd and all the work that you did. That's such important work, and you bring it to our attention. So I didn't mind the newsreel. I think it brought it to life. It brought it to everybody's attention what we're dealing with and the links that we have to go to secure their tax dollars. You know, it's important. So thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Bill Henry, what a class guy. He just made me smile every time I saw him. Just a great guy, great quality of a person. And I heard of his passing. It surprised me because he was so vibrant. And so anyway, I'm glad that we were able to honor him. And again, I'll echo what everybody else is saying about Tom Burke. You're awesome. And I've always appreciated your advice and your viewpoint on things. You've been such an asset to the district, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. Education's tough. I don't know if people really understand how tough a job it is. And I think the Board of Trustees appreciates what all of you do. We know it's difficult. And we want you to know our job is difficult at times. You'll see some things in the future you may question, but we're working very hard, making some very difficult decisions on behalf of the district. And as finances get tighter come May and so forth, it's going to become more difficult. We appreciate your input. We appreciate all the guidance that you provide us and through the chancellor. And we think that's important. Trustee Meek and I were reminiscing a little bit today. I got to meet Trustee Meek first time when Kevin McCarthy called me. Well, he was an assemblyman at that time, I think. He says, you need to get down to Bakersfield and meet K Meek because we're going to run you for the board. And I said, no, you're not. And I had just been up with he and Schwarzenegger or something. I can't even remember what it was, but came down and Kay was emceeing an event. I don't know what that cost me that day, $500,000, but at the Petroleum Club. Yeah, it was expensive. And she didn't give me a time of day. She said, well, we'll see if you make it or something. I said, oh, okay. But the first district member I met was Tom Burke. And I don't know if you remember, but Gary Reed, who was Board of Governor Reed, brought me down to the wool growers. Thank you, Lord. At some event. And I got to meet, and you sat down and talked to me about it and did your darndest to talk me out of it. And I really appreciate that. And but it's been a great relationship. I've learned more about finance from you and this board than anybody I've ever met on any board in my life. And it's been good for me. And for those that may not know it, Mike's doing a wonderful job, but Tom, Mike had a good mentor in Tom, and Tom is one of the best at sharpening the knife and getting the dollar out of us and getting things moving, and he's done a great job and taught us tricks of the trade. I think they were legal. I hope they were. But that kept this district's on a solid financial foot because of Tom. And he really preached the conservative approach and how to back ourselves up on proper financing. And we wouldn't be in the shape we're in today without you. Not just as chancellor, but all your leadership as chief financial officer. And we really appreciate that. I know Kay and we learned just a ton. And you're going to forget more than we'll ever learn, unfortunately. But it's true, you're not leaving. You'll stay in the coaching position to help us as we bring on the new leadership. And we know it's going to be difficult for some of these new leaders coming on because they're not familiar with California. And we think it's critical that Tom stay around to help guide them a little bit as we get into this. So we appreciate all you've done. And I always remember that we have Jennifer, that behind every great man is a young lady rolling her eyes and trying to keep all of us straight and keep me on the right, make sure we're voting on the right issue here. And we really appreciate all she's done. It doesn't work without people like Jennifer. So thank you all very much. Thank you for the meeting today, and we stand adjourned. Whoops, excuse me, Tom, you had one more thing.
Yes. I had a couple of folks I missed in my thank yous. I want to get through real quick. I also, what's important for supporting a chancellor association. So I want to thank the Management Association. I want to thank CTA, Faculty Bargaining Unit, CSCA, Classified Bargaining Unit, and Consultation Council. And last but not least, I was really remiss, but I want to thank Jennifer for her hard work keeping me on track the last 10 months. Great. Thank you.
We stand adjourned.